Righty, we have some public hearings tonight. The first public hearing is Community Redevelopment Strategy and Implementation Plan. And I open the meeting to the public to make any comments and what about the plan at this time. There being no comments, I close this public hearing and I'll entertain a motion from the board, if there's no objections, to accept the plan.
Make a motion to accept the plan.
I'll second that.
Moved by trustee Burt, seconded by trustee Jefferson. Roll call vote, trustee Jefferson.
Aye.
Trustee Burt.
Aye.
Trustee Baker.
Aye.
Trustee Cooper.
Aye.
And the mayor votes aye. Second, yes.
If I, Mr. Mayor, if I could just interject, I would like to take this opportunity, if we could, just to thank Adori Kurtz and the Development Corporation for all of the time they donated in helping us put this strategy together. And we have a product that will direct our efforts and also provide lots of information to private businesses considering Rouses Point. So thank you to Adori and the Development Corporation and to our consultant, Scott Allen from AES Northeast. A true pleasure to work with. Many revisions as we came up with new data and thought of new things, and we really do appreciate the product. The final product, I think, is excellent.
It's very easy to get along with.
Well, you know where we are.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just wanted to-
From the board, we thank you very much. I enjoyed working with both of you. All right, second public hearing, local law number 2 for the year 2009. Moratorium on the acceptance for apartments and downtown storefronts in the C1 zone area of the village of Rouses Point. And I open the floor to the public, anybody wishing to comment on.
I got a question. This moratorium, does it give a specific footage?
Yeah, C1 area.
No,
Oh,
I
she
mean,
means storefront violation.
the down, at the,
No,
on
good
the,
question.
on the main floor.
No.
Is it a few feet or a half of it or the whole one?
Doesn't give anything that I know of, Jerry. I know we want to make this a permanent law, and when we do that, I think we're going to need to do,
I guess I can see that if there's not any square footage in there, I mean, people, somebody can get around that real easy. They can say, well, like, the width of a table is
Yeah.
sufficient to say it's not a, and then make the rest of it an apartment. Just a question.
Thank you. Anybody else? If not, I'll close the public hearing on local law 2, and I'll entertain a motion to accept the local law 2, if the board has no comments.
I'll make a motion to accept local law number 2 for year 2009 moratorium on the acceptance for apartments in downtown storefront in C1 zoned area village of Rouses Point.
I'll second that.
Moved by trustee Jefferson, seconded by trustee Cooper. Any discussion more? There being no discussion, roll call vote, trustee Jefferson.
Aye.
Trustee Burks.
Aye.
Trustee Baker.
Aye.
Trustee Cooper.
Aye.
And the mayor votes aye. And now, third public hearing. Tentative budget for 2009, 2010, and I open it up to the public. Anybody wishes to discuss about the budget?
Mr. Mayor, would you like me to read the budget message?
Yes, please.
The highlights of the 2009-2010 tentative budget included the general fund. This year's tax rate will remain at $3.75 a thousand due to continuing monitor of village spending. Major projects funded included paving for Delaware Street, Kavanaugh Drive, Beacon Heights, and Mountain View Drive have a cost of approximately $99,999. The Clinton County Highway Department will pave these streets at a considerable savings to the village. Purchase of salt for snow removal through the county will also be a major savings cost. The Board of Trustees has provided funding for a full-time librarian technician at the Dodge Memorial Library and has carried over funding from the 2008-2009 budget for the position of police officer, which remains vacant. In the Civic Center, part of this message has changed since, things have changed since it's been written. Funding for, the hourly rate for ice time will remain low compared to other local arenas at a new rate of $110 per hour. In the water fund, water rates for all water customers will remain the same this fiscal year. Additional water testing is required and funded to comply with new regulations of the New York State Department of Health and the EPA. Additional testing is increasing the water department's lab services costs. Water rates will have to be continually monitored to provide monies for future debt service payments and fixed costs. In sewer rates for all sewer users will remain the same this fiscal year. A new $19,000 pickup truck funded from current appropriations of $9,000 and $10,000 from a vehicle reserve is provided. Funding for a skid steer and telescopic loader reserves has also been established. In the library monies of $10,000 has been rolled over from the 2008-2009 budget to cover the cost for building repairs that include the portico roof repair, the facade repair, and the brick repointing are included. Additional $25,000 rolled over in the general fund to cover the remaining repair costs as provided. Additional funds from the general fund have been provided for a full-time librarian technician's position. In the electric fund, the village's underground project continues with the funding of Rose Avenue, Academy Street lighting, and Phase 1 of State Street at a total cost of $102,000. A new $18,000 pickup truck for the supervisor's use will also be purchased. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank the village board, the clerk, the deputy treasurer, the deputy clerk, and all department heads for their help and cooperation during the budget process. Despite the country's economic and fiscal mess and increases in fixed costs beyond our control, the budget has been provided that maintains the services that the village residents and ratepayers have come to expect from the village of Rouses Point at reasonable rates and fees.
Anybody have any discussion on the budget? If not, I will close the public hearing on the budget. Now we're back in regular session. I will entertain a motion to adopt the budget.
There's a resolution in the
Oh,
budget.
I'm sorry. Is that your resolution, isn't it?
Page 83.
No, I haven't.
Right here. What is it?
I don't really need me to read that.
You need to read?
That guy.
You want me to?
You need somebody to put it in the form of a motion.
Want me to read it for the form of motion?
Okay. Resolution adopting a budget for the fiscal year commencing June 1, 2009 and ending May 31st, 2010. Making the appropriations for the conduct of the village government and establishing the rates of compensation for officers and employees in such period. Whereas the Board of Trustees has met at the time and place specified and notice a public hearing on the tentative budget and heard all persons desired to be heard, therefore be it resolved that the tentative budget is hereby set forth here and hereby adopted, the several amounts stated in column adopted. In Schedule 1A through Schedule 2EE, together with the amount set forth by the budget summary by the funds found on page 2, and hereby appropriated for the, excuse me, for the object and the purpose specified. The salaries and wages are stated in Schedule 7, effective June 1st, 2009, for all employees. The union employees' salary and wages were negotiated through a signed labor contract with the Civil Service Employees Association Incorporated. We need that in form of a motion, Cory.
Make a motion to adopt the budget as stated in the resolution for 2009, 2010.
Second?
Moved by trustee Burt, seconded by trustee Jefferson. Is there any other discussion, board? If not, roll call vote. Trustee Jefferson.
Aye.
Trustee Burt.
Aye.
Trustee Baker. Trustee Cooper.
Aye.
And the mayor votes aye. It's done. for another year.
Another year.
All right. Comments from the public at this time? Anybody wishing to address the board may do so.
Give a little update about the 4th of July.
Yes, please.
I have a wonderful co-chair here. It's Carol, we've been working hard on it, and it's pretty well set. I think the schedule for the day, everything is 99% done. Steve Merchant, of course, obviously put together the kids' day again and stuff, and so everything is falling into place. I'd like to make a formal request to Deputy Mayor Trustee Brian Jefferson that he will perform the same duties this year that he has in the past years.
I'll do that for you, Jerry, gladly.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Other than that, that's pretty much, I'm gonna be at Wyeth on Wednesday for Earth Day. Melissa's gonna set me up with her, whatever she has from that forum, and I'm gonna have the information about the 4th and the railroad station and the quad and all that kind of stuff, so.
Jerry, thank you very much. I know how hard you have worked. I've been there and saw it. And if anybody doesn't have any idea, it takes some time. This young lady has put some time in, let me tell you.
I like it though. I enjoy doing it.
Drives up.
Thank you.
Well, we might mention also that through a Betty Lou grant that we couldn't use in the shared services that, I didn't make it clear enough before, but there's $7,000 that we can spend as long as it's associated with the quad centennial celebration. So with that, the 4th of July celebrants will be able to use banners and whatever Jerry decides is appropriate to purchase, as long as we have the receipts to turn them in through the shared services grant.
That's nice to hear.
I'll
Thank you, John.
entertain any and all suggestions and from anybody who wants to.
And I think that's understood that it might be able to be applied to the skate that we had when it celebrated the bison, the quad centennial, and also the faith and dance. That will be highlighting the bicentennial, so we're gonna try to use all that money for the quad.
Very good. Okay. Nobody else? I'll close this section. I'll have a chance at the end of the meeting. Bid results, contract 2009-3, relay cabinet for circuit switcher. I know, Carol.
There was 3 bids that were received. Electricom Incorporated, their total bid was $15,102.76. Electrical Power Products was $15,806. Switchgear Power Systems was $18,630. The mayor did speak to the electrical
Electrical engineer.
engineer, and I did talk to Kurt, so
Yeah.
if you could explain what.
I don't have, wait, I guess I do. The electric power products, they're $15,806 bid. Kurt had talked to 2 of those people, and one of them said that their bid was solid, but they said if they did not have to provide the binders for the material and let them use their own binders that they have, there would be, was it $1,400?
Yes.
A $1,400 deduction. So it makes them low bid at $14,406.
How was the bid?
I don't know, but he called them, he called all 2 of them that I know of. Hey,
Because both of those, the first 2 there, well, actually all 3 of them say no deviations.
yep. All of them say no deviation.
That's what I said, all of them. All 3 of them.
I don't know if we're gonna get ourselves in a peck of trouble here. I'm sort of leery of this.
I would rather.
He's sending us a letter supposedly, or emailing us. Kurt is on this.
I would rather wait on it myself.
To be on the safe side, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
should we either rebid or wait?
No, we don't need to
We don't
rebid.
need to rebid, but I think that we should wait and then see if there's any questions. We should let our attorney look at it and make sure that what we do is right, because I don't feel comfortable.
And we may have to just hold a special meeting to award the bids.
Yeah, we'll just have a special meeting and
Okay. let's wait and,
Yeah, I would prefer to do that because after talking with Carol, I'm a little leery of this because when you, with the economic times the way it is, and people are scrutinizing everything, and we just went through that with another bid, that we had to rebid.
I mean, you're only talking a matter of a few days, maybe
What?
having to bid from now
okay,
to
but it
maybe a
won't
couple
work.
days from now, and I'd rather do, if we're gonna do it, it's gotta be done
Yeah.
right, so,
Let's do
Okay.
it, let's do it the right way.
okay. Thank you.
Okay, minutes of previous meeting of, April sixth, 2009. Board, you all have copies, is there any additions or deletions? If not, I entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of the previous meeting of April sixth, 2009.
Second. Moved by trustee Jefferson, seconded by trustee Baker. Any discussion, board? There being no discussion, all those in favor, vote by the usual sign of aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. Bills. You all have copies of bills, is there any additions or deletions?
No, there is not.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills tonight.
Second,
Moved by trustee Jefferson, seconded by trustee Burts, any discussion? There being no discussion, all those in favor, vote by the usual sign of aye.
aye,
Those opposed, motion carried. Correspondence.
The first letter I have is, was received from Seed Nurkovic, doing business at San Marino Restaurant pursuant to Article 5, Section 54 of the Alcohol Beverage Control Laws of the State of New York. I am an applicant for a license to sell liquor. I am required to notify the clerk of the town or city that has jurisdiction over the area and the premises to be located. The above captioned applicant wishes to notify you that a new application for an on-premise liquor license is being submitted to the New York State Liquor Authority to operate a restaurant bar at the address shown above, which is 62 Montgomery Street. The applicant further advises that the premises will be operated in full compliance with the New York State Liquor Authority Division of Alcohol but Beverage Control and will be open only with the hours allowed by law. And that was sent certified mail.
For information only, board, no action necessary.
The second item I have came in from, it's in our hands, it's a 2010, it's from the U.S. Census Bureau. Between April and July of 2009, U.S. Census employees will be visiting every household unit in every neighborhood of your community. In order to conduct the 2010 decennial census, the Census Bureau must know the address and physical location of each place where people live or stay. Our census employees will wear official identification and carry handheld computers to capture physical addresses and their GPS coordinates. And they're reaching out to police departments, local governments, and civic organizations to inform the community about this important activity, thereby reducing public concern. They enclosed an awareness poster for us to post in the public area. They appreciate our cooperation and support. So,
They're already out there.
yeah.
Yeah.
The young man is a village resident and doing it.
I didn't have that, so
It's been off,
Now, if they go to your house and you're not there, then they.
doesn't matter. It's all they're interested in is the physical address.
Or just checking it out.
Yeah, and they're locating it into a GPS unit.
The next item I have came from the Clinton County Office of Emergency Services. It's addressed to the mayor. It is that time of year to renew the first list of delegates for the Fire Advisory Board. Please submit the names of the representatives from your fire department that you would like to serve as a delegate and alternates for your agency. The present delegate is Mike LeBlanc, and the alternate is Walt Laramie. And the term for the Fire Advisory Board is May 1st through April 30th of 2010. And they're just asking us to submit that, and I do have that on the mayor's agenda for tonight. The next item I received was from the Clinton, Essex, Franklin, Adirondack Tobacco Free Network. They have its time once again to recognize our community champions who have been instrumental in creating healthier tobacco-free communities. They have a date set aside for May 21st from 4 to 6 p.m. at the Burgundy Room in Plattsburgh. If anybody wishes to attend, they're gonna, you have to RSVP, that's that resolution we did at the last meeting. So if anybody would like to see what it's about, let me know and I'll be happy to send it in, but that's tomorrow. I mean, May 21st, excuse me.
I cannot attend, I will be out of town.
Montgomery Hose Hook and Ladder Company, please be advised that our annual election of officers held April 7th. The following members were elected by our membership to serve as chiefs until April of 2010. They have 9, but it's 10. We submit their names for your approval. Chief Mike LeBlanc, First Assistant Chief Walt Laramie, Second Assistant Chief Junior Moore. Thank you for your consideration of these matters. So we need a motion on that?
Yes, you do.
I'll make a motion to accept the fire department chief and 3 elected officers.
Second. Who seconded it? Oh, okay, thank you. Moved by trustee Jefferson, seconded by trustee Cooper. Is there any discussion? There being no discussion, all those in favor, vote by usual sign of aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried.
And that's all I have.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The budget resolution we did already. All right, first thing on my agenda, you all have copies of the proposed sign for the village office. That is in keeping the way we have adopted. That's the exact same size as the one at the library. And it'll fit right there perfectly. It's about the same size of that piece of board that's up there. So, I just need approval to spend the money.
I'll make a motion to order the sign for the village office. Put that in form of a motion.
Moved by trustee Jefferson, seconded by trustee Burks. Any discussion?
Is that sign gonna stand free?
No, it's gonna bolt right to the wall. No. It's one-sided sign. Okay, any other discussion? If not, all those in favor, vote by usual sign of aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. Okay, I need a motion to accept the new website, and by the way, that website will be kicked off May 1st at Lakeside Coffee. And John asked the question, why would we do it for the library? Well, they're gonna have, they're having somebody bring in hors d'oeuvres and all that stuff. That's the reason why they're going there.
Plus they have Wi-Fi.
And,
I
yeah, they
have
have
Wi-Fi
Wi-Fi.
at the library.
Yeah, anyway, but, I thought, it would be nice if we could find a,
We can have 2 sites. You can have one at the library and one at the.
no, what I was thinking of is taking our projector down there, and if we have the projector with the screen, and then taking the computer, get on that Wi-Fi, and then project that whole thing up on the big screen. I don't know if you like the movie, John, but anyway, you're all invited, everybody's invited.
What time is
If
it?
you have, I think it's 6 o'clock. I got the, no, I can tell you, I got it marked in my book.
In the morning?
No, at night.
Woo! No, John. I'm afraid they'll be all by themselves.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
May 1st.
No, 7 PM,
7 PM?
that's what I got here. If you haven't gone on board and looked at it,
That's pretty cool.
they have done a nice job on that website. And what I understand that our Sen's gonna be the webmaster.
Oh, yeah?
To make the change, and we can make the changes to it ourselves. That's what's gonna be nice. You know, minutes and all that stuff can be posted. Yeah.
You see the minutes are posted on the old, this would be a new.
Okay, request a revitalization project work session with the board. Melissa would like to sit down with the board before the end of the month. And she's got 4/27 at 1 PM, 4/28 at 10 or 1, and 4:30 at 10. Not 4:30 PM, but
What were those dates again?
4/27, 4/28, or 4:30.
And 1 o'clock at 4,
From 1 o'clock to 4/27, 10 or 1 on the 28th, and at 10 on the 30th.
27th is a Monday?
Yeah.
You can.
The ones that are on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, I can't make it.
I don't.
What is it, times again,
Tuesday,
Tuesday?
Tuesday at 10 or 1.
10 a.m.
Is Tuesday fine?
Tuesday, 10 o'clock,
Tuesday
I'm
at
fine
10
with me.
a.m.
Yeah.
Tuesday at 10,
That's
I'm
28.
Well, what the thing is, a couple of things that, pardon? You pick the time, I don't care, I'll be there.
Yeah, earlier.
No, I won't be there on the 28th. Let me see that book.
28, you got news there.
No, that ain't news, that's night book.
Venue.
Night book, New York.
9 o'clock.
Yeah, 28th or the 29th, 30th is the only day I can make it, which is Thursday.
I can do 30th.
And I don't, it doesn't matter, I do not need to be there.
It's at 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock?
On the
Whatever,
30th?
you guys pick the date, because I'm not gonna be able to make any of them.
Oh,
It's Thursday, 10 a.m.?
Yeah.
yeah, that sounds good to me.
Thursday, 10 a.m.?
What's the date, 23rd?
Brian?
The
Yeah,
30th.
30th of April.
Right here?
Yeah, it'll be right here, it'll be fine.
How about just do it at the village
Do it
office?
at the village
We can do it there,
office.
too, yeah.
Yeah, then we don't have to move everybody.
All right, yeah, 10 o'clock. then.
We're 30, 10 o'clock.
And what it is, board, is that I think she's gonna talk about, the railroad station and the grants. And, after seeing the paperwork, I'm glad she's doing it, not me. 9 copies I have to sign, and then the lawyer has to sign them, and then they have to be notarized. And then they gotta go to the state,
Town federal.
that, to be, signed by the comptroller.
When you're ready to do your next one, you didn't do the appointments of the delegates.
Oh, I'm sorry, thank you. I checked it off and didn't do it. Okay, I'm appointing the same 2 people as delegates to the fire advisory board,
Yes.
and I need a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the delegates for the fire advisory board.
Second.
Moved by trustee Jefferson, seconded by trustee Becker.
There were no.
All those in favor, vote by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, and requesting a executive session for what?
You have to announce your spring cleanup. Did you mark that off too?
Well, it's not on this.
Yeah.
Number 6?
George?
Spring cleanup?
There's
Too much on his plate.
too much going here. Okay, trust me, yeah. The spring cleanup days for the Village of Rouses plant will commence on May 4th and will continue through Thursday, May 7th. Residents are requested to bag as much of the materials as possible and place it curbside by 7:30 a.m. in such a position so that parked cars and so forth do not block the pickup. This would be greatly facilitate the collection. Residents are reminded this collection is for pickup of bags, clippings, and leaves only. Well, they're already doing brush. I think Junior said they were out with the chipper today, right? Yeah, they're doing brush now.
Yeah, the clippings are part of the
Doing
brush,
brush now?
clippings
Yeah.
and leaves. so.
Anybody's got it alongside the road, they're out there chipping it.
Coming back with the chipper.
Chipper, yeah. Requested executive session for possible litigation. And I put that in form of a motion.
Second?
Moved by myself and seconded by trustee Jefferson. Roll call vote, trustee Jefferson,
Aye.
trustee Burts,
Aye.
trustee Baker, trustee Cooper,
Aye.
and I vote aye. And I believe that's it for me. I don't see anything on the backside here. All right, trustee Jefferson.
Okay, thank you, Mayor Rivers. The first item on my agenda tonight is a discussion for the New York State Municipal Power Agency. The meeting will be on May 20th and 21st. Mayor Rivers will be there. Is anybody else on the board interested in going?
I was interested in that. Cooper?
What's the date on that?
20,
20th and 21st,
Yeah.
May. Which is.
you got the, let me see the agenda.
Yep.
Wait, hey, the agenda.
Oh, did it? Oh, that's the sign up. Yeah, I don't think I have it in, I mean,
I just was looking for the starting time.
yeah, I don't have it in.
I think it's 10 o'clock.
Says registration 9 AM, coffee and Danish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where it was last year.
What?
That's where it was last year, 9 o'clock.
Starts at 10 AM, George.
Yeah. Registration's at 9.
Yeah.
Gotta go down the night before then.
Yeah.
'Cause it's, you wanna get up about 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning to go down. Syracuse.
You better leave the night before,
Yeah, really.
we're gonna watch it, hurry, and get yourself hurt.
And, whenever it does go, you'll be coming back, if you ride down with me in the village car, you'll be coming back late on Thursday. Cause I have a 2 o'clock meeting Thursday afternoon in Syracuse.
George, I'll go down with you.
Okay, all right.
Can I put that in form of a motion to allow the mayor and trustee Cooper to attend the Municipal Power Authority 12th Annual Meeting?
I'll second it.
Moved by trustee Jefferson, seconded by trustee Baker. Is there any discussion? There being no discussion, all those in favor, vote by the usual sign of aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And now you got a resolution there.
Yep. The second item on my agenda is the resolution designating Mayor Rivers to be accredited delegate for the village of Rouses Point. I'll put that in form of a motion.
Moved by trustee Jefferson, seconded by trustee Burts, roll call vote. Trustee Jefferson.
Aye.
Trustee Burts.
Aye.
Trustee Baker.
Aye.
Trustee Cooper.
Aye.
And I'm not voting.
And that's all I have on my agenda tonight, Mayor Rivers. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, trustee Burts.
First thing I've had on my agenda is to rescind the contract bid award for large diameter hose to the fire equipment company. So I have to put that in the form of a motion.
Yeah.
I'll second that.
Moved by trustee Burts, seconded by trustee Jefferson. Any discussion? There was some problems with the bid, just
Yeah.
for everybody to know, so we had to reject it. So, okay, no other discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried.
And then the second item is to authorize the clerk to go back out and publish a publish a legal notice to go back out a contract for a large diameter hose to rebid the one that was rescinded.
Okay, I'll second that.
Moved by trustee Burt, seconded by trustee Jefferson. Is there any discussion? There being no discussion, all those in favor vote by the usual sign of aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried.
Next is to make a motion to authorize the clerk to publish a legal notice to go out to bid for contract 2009-6 for a vehicle exhaust extraction system.
Second?
Moved by trustee Burt, seconded by trustee Jefferson. Is there any discussion?
Yes, where's that going?
That's going in a fire station, it's no cost to the village of Rouses Point, that's a FEMA grant. And we have to follow the
I was
procurement.
gonna ask the same thing.
Huh?
I was just gonna ask the same thing.
And that, that 5-inch hose, that's a FEMA grant, no cost to the village. That's, the grants to the fire service that they came out with. I think we awarded 64,000 some time ago. We just got, Mike just got the contracts last week for the exhaust system. But you must follow the local bidding procedures. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor vote by the usual sign of aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried.
I have another motion to amend the original resolution for the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which originally was $6,500 for matching funds, but it has to be 13.
At the last meeting, it was $650.
That's what I meant, 600, what did I say?
$650.
I'll take
Well,
it.
I added a zero.
$6,500.
You know, what's a zero here and there?
Means a lot to the library.
Yeah. Doubles the, anyways, it's from $650 to $1,300.
I'll second that.
Moved by trustee Burts, seconded by trustee Jefferson. This sounds like a broken record.
Okay, and my last item is.
Wait a minute,
Oh,
John.
I'm sorry.
Is there any discussion? There being no discussion, all those in favor vote with the usual sign of aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried.
And last is RSM.
That's supposed to be roll call vote.
Roll call vote, trustee Jefferson,
Aye.
trustee Burts,
Aye.
trustee Baker,
Aye.
trustee Cooper,
Aye.
and the mayor votes aye.
Thank you.
And the last thing I have, now that we have the budget passed, I'd like to authorize the clerk to publish a notice for position of library technician. And as described in the civil service rules for personnel, and as long as it meets the criteria of what the library board would like as a library technician.
Second?
Moved by trustee Burts, seconded by trustee Jefferson. Any discussion for it? There
Do you
being-
think we should be hiring people at this time?
I don't have a problem with it because it's in the budget, and the budget is, we've kept the tax rate the same. We didn't have to raise taxes.
No, we're looking toward, this might not, we got this far, but we're gonna have some lean years ahead here. You know, that's gonna cost us quite a bit of money there.
Well, John, let's put it this way. For about 100 years, that library's been in the dark. And now, with the new library board, which took 10 years to get on board, and the work they have done, and what has taken place in that library in the past year, I think it's necessary now. They have gone from like 200 patrons to over 400 in just a few months. They have gone to online books, which I was amazed about the people that are coming online to asking for books. And I think having that library open longer and longer hours is a credit to this village.
We've been along for a long time without a full-time librarian here.
Times have changed. The reason why we got along without the full-time librarian is, I may say something out of context here, and maybe I should keep my mouth shut, is that the people that were there really didn't want it anything but what it was. They didn't want to move forward.
Okay, George, when we advertise this thing, we're gonna advertise for the village insurance and everything on that?
You don't have to advertise the insurance, you advertise the job.
Or does it come with village
Well,
insurance?
certainly.
So it's gonna cost us $1,200 a month, right?
I don't know, Arsen, what's the cost for insurance for an employee?
She said the other day,
It's,
$1,000 or $1,200 for a family.
yeah, well, it depends if you're a single, family, two-person.
We're talking about $40-something thousand a year.
Well, my thought on the idea is I've been sitting at the library board since I've been assigned or been appointed from Mayor Rivers. And then I was elected as a trustee, and I sat on the library board, and I sat with Andy and the people that were there, and we tried for two and a half years to remove the person that was hindering the growth of the library. We finally got that accomplished. The doors are open now, people are coming to the library. There's a lot that the library board has done. There's a direction that they perceive that they want to step forward. There's grants to be had for people that have libraries that are up and running. And, you know, we might say it's the age of the internet, but there's more use in the library because of the internet, not less. And these people have dedicated, and myself in particular, have dedicated a lot of hours to try to make this a very progressive piece of the village. And if you look at every community down the line, like Westport has a great, tremendous arts program. They have people that come from the cities to study in that area, and one of the reasons they come is because they have a very progressive library system. And what they propose to do with a full-time librarian or library technician is to have summer reading groups for children, adult reading centers, kind of like social tea parties, you might say. They have book clubs that they want to get. They got, we got the president of the library board here, Mr. Ewer, he can tell us. But there's adult reading groups that are coming. I mean, we have a lot of plans. We want to, there's grants out there to even enhance our library. Our library has not had a physical change of anything in the last 50 years. So we're trying to get, we got school grants, we got school programs that our library technician is gonna be reaching out to with Matt Fredette, who's the librarian at Northeastern Clinton, and he has a reading program. We're gonna be reaching out to those people. We reach out to all the communities, and it's gonna be something that's gonna be very progressive. We can't do that with part-time librarian.
We
And
took
if we wanna go nowheres and show, we're spending all this great money for infrastructure, we're building a railroad station, we got this beautiful arena, we have places where people come in the summer times, if they wanna come to Rouses Point, we're doing our downtown. I think it should follow suit with what we're doing in the village and being progressive. And that's one of the ways to be progressive, to show people that we have a show library, that we're gonna have something that people are gonna want to go to. I mean, it's not, yes, maybe you and I don't spend as much time in the library as we should, or we don't like to because it's not our thing, but there's a lot of people that love libraries. There's a lot of things that go on in libraries. There's art programs, there's reading programs, there's educational programs. When people losing their jobs, there are places to go to find, they can't find computers. We have three brand new computers that we have online. We got a Wi-Fi access. We're hoping to get, to do some renovations, and we need this full-time person there.
And the other thing is that they started, I don't know, Clinton Essex library system has been fully computerized for God, since the computers, I don't know, for a good number of years. This library wasn't part of it.
Well,
And in 3 months, they put, I think 3 to 4 months, they put all the books and everything are on a computer. You can go in there and you want a book and it's not there, they'll go online, I'll have it for you tomorrow.
I checked around the other libraries around, they don't have any full-time people. And several of the taxpayers here in the village have mentioned it to me that they're not exactly enthusiastic about this. I personally think it's a good idea, but I think we have to go with the will of the people. And that's what I have to say about it. I mean, we'll take a vote on it, and I'm sure we'll go, but, I have to represent the people, that's what they, that's what I'm trying to.
That's what you're there for.
Right.
Is there any other comments? This gotta be a roll call vote, or just a, I don't think so. Hiring a person? I don't think so. No. We have a motion made and seconded. All those in favor vote by using the sign of aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, anything else, John?
I think that's it.
Okay, trustee Baker.
Hold on just one
Okay,
second.
first thing I have is a request for executive session to discuss civic center personnel.
Second. Moved by trustee Baker, seconded by trustee Jefferson. I'm gonna wait.
Your tape's out of the thing.
Your tape is out of the bucket.
Yeah, it died on me. Okay, go ahead.
Roll call vote, trustee Jefferson. Aye. Trustee Burts.
Aye.
Trustee Baker.
Aye.
Trustee Cooper.
And the second thing is a request for executive session to discuss possible litigation.
Second. Moved by trustee Baker, seconded by trustee Jefferson. Roll call vote, trustee Jefferson. Aye. Trustee Burts.
Aye.
Trustee Baker.
Aye.
Trustee Cooper. And the mayor votes aye.
That's it for me.
All right, good.
George, you solved all my problems this morning, so I don't have anything for you.
Thank you. Thank you, trustee Cooper. Madam Clerk?
I have nothing.
Huh?
I have nothing.
I said?
I just want to announce again that Becky and I will be going to the county to look at the tax program April 27th. We were supposed to go last week there and they canceled out on us. I also want to read the press release that was sent out. The Village of Rouses Point property owners are reminded that April 30th, 2009 is the last day to pay any outstanding water and sewer bills. After that day, any water and sewer arrears will be added to the tax rolls and collected during June when taxes are paid. That's all I have.
Thank you, Arsen. Ryan?
Yes, I would like the board to surplus some pole mount transformers that we have, that we took off Delaware Street and other streets that we go underground. I'd like to get those surplus so we can sell them to Lake Placid or TNR, whoever gives us the best price for them. Just they're sitting in our yard and, or they, I'd like to get something for them.
What are they worth, Brian?
Usually $2 a kVA.
In other words, a 25 kVA is worth $50.
So what do we pay for those originally?
The pole tops, probably about 300.
They're quite a few years old.
Yeah, some are over 20, 30 years old, so there's no guarantees with them when we get rid of them. If we have to get rid of them to, because there's oil in them, they're not contaminated, but because there's oil with them, it would cost us money. So rather than cost us money, we'd rather sell them to like Lake Placid or TNR and they refurbish them and reuse them. And it gets them out of our stock, out of our inventory, so.
I'll make a motion to sell them.
Surplus them.
Surplus them.
That's it.
Second that motion.
Motion made by trustee Baker, seconded by trustee Cooper. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor, vote by the usual sign of aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
I will be giving the board copies of the painting quotes that we have for the village office to do all the white trim. We're gonna review them this week and we need to do a final decision on them, which is budgeted from last year. And we did go out and get the 3 quotes and it's under 10,000, so I just wanna, for your information.
The budget's passed, you can go 20,000 now.
Is it?
Look at him.
We'll get it now.
Have you officially got something to write about that yet?
Haven't got it yet, but the budget's passed, you know it.
We'll be spending
They didn't
the
try
money.
that 3 weeks ago on me.
Before the 4th of July?
That's what we're pushing for. I told them to get the front of the building done before the 4th of July, work on the back after.
Yeah, good.
And also, I met with Tom Guerin, he does the refrigeration, to go around to the rec center for this meeting room. He's gonna look at the library, the village office, and clean all our air conditioners and whatever has to be done with them.
Get him to take a look at the sewer plant.
I will. He's gonna come
I think
Saturday.
you're gonna make a recommendation to be replaced, but
Well, he's gonna come Saturday to do the village office, because he showed me, like, the one in Carol's office is so plugged up,
Oh, I know
he's
it.
surprised that it even runs. So,
Is there a lot of hot air in Carol's office?
Yeah.
well, a lot of dust.
A lot of dust. A lot of dust. I know we bought him a new vacuum cleaner.
Oh, yeah.
is that it, Brian?
Well, I just want to announce that the spring cleanup is pretty much done. We're picking up the sand. They finished it today. The guys did an excellent job. And they've been working hard on it. And line crew, myself, we've been working on Rose Avenue, getting the pushes across, so we've been pretty busy. We're
Shaping
gonna
up.
continue our maintenance on the streets and do the spring cleanup.
Mr., make a note, Mrs. Sterling did an outstanding job refurbishing that bathroom and
Oh, yeah, definitely. With our building
nobody's
repairs.
seen it, you gotta take a look at it.
Yeah, with our building repairs, I mean, we're very fortunate that we have the crews that we have, that they're so versatile and working, and like Bobby Sterling, he redid that bathroom down at the village office, and he did an excellent job.
And on that, this afternoon, I got a phone call at 4 o'clock from a resident. You don't often get phone calls like this, and it makes you feel good. Brian sent a couple of our linemen up Church Street to do a job this morning. Guy called me up at 4 o'clock, he said, I came home, he said, I was never so impressed. He said, John, he said, you'd never know they've been there, everything is cleaned up, picked up, he said, can't say enough for the work they've done. So I like those kind of phone calls.
And, their work sometimes goes unnoticed, but we, the village board certainly support them.
I aim
Okay.
to stop running them in the ground.
I'll open the meeting, is that it, Brian?
That's it.
Thank you, I'll open the meeting public, this time, anybody wishing to address the board may do so.
Well, I just want to thank the board for, one, for the budget, and also for the authorizing the posting of the full-time director. We have a list for Mr. Cooper's benefit, as long as my arm, of the things we have planned for the foreseeable future, whereby the library will be an asset of such nature that it will be something that people will discover and use and will want to come back again, especially those who are using marinas, many of whom don't ever take their boats away from the dock, but they like to read. And some have come in this past summer to borrow books, because we have set up a system whereby we can accommodate them, and we want to work further than that. Some of the things we want to do are to make sure that the people in the senior housing have access to books, to the extent that we will bring the books to them. We have a bookmobile that comes up periodically, but we want them to know through the computer accommodations they have at the center, they can actually address our library database and find out if we have the book, or place an order for that book that we will obtain from one of the other CEF branch libraries. So that we're in the business of probably 24-hour turnaround, if it's necessary, for someone who really needs something to occupy their minds because they're having difficulties with living in the center, they don't like not being home, that sort of thing. And books are a tremendous tool for the elderly, because many of them can still read them, and we have large print. In fact, we have a tendency now where the books apparently are going to be popular, because of our ability to determine that, we make sure there's a large print book as well as a standard print book. And the selections are much more diversified than they have in the past. So we're trying to do as much as we can in as broad a spectrum as possible. This full-time director is going to put a lot of their time on grant seeking, because we don't want to be constantly burdening the village with the expenses of providing materials for special programs. And there's money out there. CEF has already addressed us concerning that. And so we want to work with them in terms of getting these materials and getting this ability to provide. We want to be an accommodation for any group, small group especially, that would like to meet. We have that reading room, which was its original purpose when the library was built 102 years ago. It was for the well-off elderly gentlemen who would like to go and have their cigar and read a book, or the local newspaper. That's what that room is for, and that's where it's back now, but there's no smoking. But it's back there. This is the kind of thing we want to accommodate as many different kinds of people in this village, as well as those who come to visit, the tourists that come here. Being able to do that is what makes a library a viable part of the village. It's an overhead expense, granted, but we want to turn that expense into a profit in terms of what it makes people, how people feel about being here, the accommodations that they can find. And once we've got that in place, and it's building very quickly. Now, we had the open house in the fall. we picked up something in the order of 80 new users. We just had an egg hunt, we picked up a dozen, basically because of the children. And in order to accommodate those 3 to 5-year-old children, the parents were taking out library cards. Now, they're computerized, and so it's very quick. It's very quick to get it. You just have to give the person sitting there at the computer your information. She puts it in there, scans the card in, you now have a library card. It takes less than 5 minutes.
That's
And-
good at any library in Clinton County.
And Essex County and Franklin County. We can get a book from any one of the 3 counties if it's in existence in a library that is computerized. Not every library out of the 32 that are in this system is computerized. Most of them that aren't are working towards it. Deer River said 3 or 4 months. It took us almost 2 years
Sorry.
to bring, because the first thing we had to do is get rid of all those books that showed they hadn't been taken out in more than 2 years. And we had a lot of them. The attic still has tens of bags full of books, which this summer we'll be bringing down for an open house at the library and book sale. We'll have one in the fall, we're going to have one in the winter, we're going to have them 4 times a year. And this is the kind of thing that this director is going to be organizing. We have a Friends of the Library group who conducted the open house this past fall and did the egg hunt. So we're growing, we're getting better, we're becoming more of an asset, and that's what our objective is to make the library an integral part of the everyday life of every resident in this village, regardless of their age or whatever. These books, if they're good and nice and bring the books on time, it doesn't cost them anything. If they're not good and nice, then it costs them a nickel a day for each book. But basically, books are available at times like this. You're spending for a Clive Cussler novel, you're spending $27. You want to buy that brand new, newly out on the print, out of the publishers. So you're looking at between $25 and $30 for any kind of book for non-fiction reading, or for fictional reading. Non-fiction are even more expensive. We have them here. They're available, and people are discovering that. We will be making ourselves more known in the public because the director will be also visiting the Rotary and other organizations that meet, that are in existence in the village and in the town, and as well as across the lake. We have at least a half dozen or more people who also have library cards here that live in Albert. So, and this is different from what it was prior to June 13th. Things changed on that day. We became free from the things that were dragging us down, holding us back, being a place that nobody wanted to go into because they weren't being treated properly. We've changed that, and we're making it better, and we're going to keep working that way because the Board of Trustees are now happy to go to a trustee meeting. We don't look at it now with that great apprehension. We're happy to be there. We know we're going to be planning for something positive in the future. So that's what we're all about.